Hi, and in this video, we're going to talk about why he won't commit to you and what it actually means. Hi there, Matt Shaffer here, your empowerment, connection, and relationship coach. I am a former attorney who's committed to using his powers for good and supporting women around the world and creating the sort of fulfilling, dynamic relationships that they are so worthy of. And I'm really excited to talk to you about this question, right? Why won't he commit? Why has he got cold feet? Why is he doing one of 100 different things? These are questions I get asked all the time by my clients, by my students. And so I'm really looking forward to digging into this with you. But before I do, take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and don't forget to click the link in the comments and caption. I've created a great training, some great stuff for you that I know is really going to make a difference in your connections and relationships with men. So it's the timeless question, why won't he commit? And that question can look like a lot of different ways, right? What are all the different ways that a man refuses to commit or just won't commit? It can look like ghosting, right? Where you think things are going well, maybe it's been a handful of dates or one good date, or maybe you've been dating a guy for a while, and then all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. He's not responding to texts, he's not responding to calls, emails, carrier pigeons, nothing. He's out of there with no explanation. I know it's frustrating. And then there's the other form of not committing, breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is a man who will not give you the sort of time or attention that you want, but he gives you little breadcrumbs, right? He'll go away for a little while, maybe he'll ghost for a little while, and then he'll check back in by liking a post of yours on social media or shooting you one of those, hey, what up, 2 a.m. texts or something, some booty call text. Basically, like he's not present, but he's throwing you out just a trail of crumbs and trying to just like get you to keep paying attention to him. It's ridiculous. Or maybe you found yourself in a situationship, right? I love that term. So in a situationship, you want to be in a relationship, right? That's what you're striving for. But you've got a guy who doesn't want to talk about labels. He doesn't want to talk about commitments. Anytime you try to bring it up, he says, let's not try to define this. I'm really enjoying just getting to know you. And, he's just deflecting the whole prospect or aspect of being in a committed relationship with you. So instead of being in a monogamous relationship, you find yourself in a situationship where you're basically dating the guy, but you don't have any sort of title or definition on what it is. And the last category of non committal relationships that women find themselves in so often is what I call a local long distance relationship. It's when you're in a relationship with a guy or you're dating a guy and he doesn't live far away from you, but it feels like a long distance relationship because he won't pick up the phone, he won't talk to you, he's always busy, and his opportunities to connect with you are very limited and very small. It feels almost like you're in a long distance relationship because you never see him. These are four types of non committal situations and experiences that women find themselves in time and time and time again. And they ask me, why won't he commit? So I'm going to share with you why and what it means. But let's start off with some assumptions right up front, right? One of which is that you are deeply aware of your worth and of your value and of the kind of relationship that you want. You get to have clarity around who you are and the type of connection and relationship that you want to have with a man in order to be able to express that to him. And that's the second assumption, that in the way that you've showed up, that you have demonstrated your value to him. Okay, so because we get to show up in relationship and in dating from the very first date, we get to show up in ownership of our power and our value and what it is that we want to create, the kind of connection that we want with him. And then the third assumption that I'm making about you is that you have set positive boundaries with him in a loving, feminine way. He understands who you are. You've owned your frame with him around your personal preferences, around your value, around your opinions, and that he understands what he needs to do to make you happy, right? You've laid those positive, constructive boundaries with him. Because if any of those three things aren't there, if you're not clear about what you want and what your value is, and you haven't discussed and described that to him, and you haven't showed up in ownership of your worth, and express to him what it is that you want, either through the way that you showed up or through the way that you set boundaries, he's going to mirror that back to you by not giving you the kind of commitment that you want because you're not clear about the sort of value that you create or the sort of relationship that you want. Does that make sense? So I guess just by stating those initial assumptions, I've already given you one reason why he may not be willing to commit to you, and he may be breadcrumbing you or ghosting you or doing things like that. So be clear on those first three things. And now let's get to the second reason, and one of the most primary reasons why a man isn't willing to commit to you. And that is fundamentally, if you are doing those three things that I talked about, you're aware of your value, you're communicating your value and standing in your value, and you've set positive boundaries with him, and he's simply refusing to honor them, the reason he won't commit is that he doesn't see you. He doesn't see and appreciate you for the incredible, magnetic, vibrant, high value woman that you are and that you have showed up as to him. It's as simple as that. And of course, we could do a million theories around, does he have other relationships? What has he got going on in his life? Could I do this? Could I say that? Blah, 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 blah. There's a million other hypotheticals you could throw out there to try to justify or explain or rationalize his behavior. But at the end of the day, if you have showed up in ownership of who you are and he is not acknowledging that, then he doesn't see you. And that is not your fault. And that is not your problem. And so then the next question naturally is, what does it mean, right? What does it mean that a man doesn't commit to you because he doesn't see you? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for you in the way that you get to respond to that? Well, what it means, bottom line, is he doesn't get to be in your life. He doesn't get the privilege of your time. He doesn't get the privilege of your attention. He doesn't get the gift of your focus or your energy in his life. That means you don't pick up his breadcrumbs. That means you don't respond to his late night texts after he ghosts you and then comes back months later. If a man has consistently demonstrated that he doesn't see you and he's unwilling to give you what it is that you have clearly communicated that you need or want to be happy in relationship, to be fulfilled in connection, then you get to lovingly release him, right? Because for whatever reason, he has more growth, he has more expansion that he gets to do in his own journey, and he's not a good fit for you right now. There simply isn't alignment between the two of you, and that isn't your fault. And that isn't his fault. I invite you to release blame and release judgment around other people and how they treat you. Because at the end of the day, other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And you have no control. You have no control over how other people perceive you at the end of the day, right? Your only job is to manage how you choose to show up, what ways of being you choose to adopt, what your values and vision are for a relationship, and how do they show up in the way that you conduct yourself in the world and in relationship, right? And that's your job. Your job is to manage yourself. And then other people are going to experience you, and they're either going to see you or they're not. And that is perfect, right? Because you are not meant for everybody, and you are not meant to be in alignment with everybody. And as long as you continue to own your power and continue to lovingly release those men who do not see you, do not appreciate you, and do not honor you in the way that you know that you're worthy of, you're going to continue to come into alignment with the sort of men and with the sort of people that do. But in order for them to be space for them, you get to let go of the people that don't. Does that make sense? So there you go. Now you understand why men don't commit, why they won't commit, and what it means. Bottom line is, if they're not committing and you've done your work and you've showed up as yourself, they just don't see the magic of you. And that means they don't get to be a part of your life. That's the only thing that it means. Don't read anything else into it other than that. Keep doing you, and your man and your men will find you. So I hope this resonated with you. If it did, take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and don't forget to click that link in the comments and caption. I've created some great content that I know you're going to love in your dating and relationships. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time on my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.